Hello my dear friends, if you want to learn how to speak English, then this video is only for you. And I must say that I am going to tell you some tips today, and if you follow these tips, then of course it will help you a lot. And as you know the importance of English, wherever you go across the world you can find the importance of English, because if you don't know how to speak English, then I don't think you are getting good prestige and respect in the society as well. So you have to focus on what I am going to teach you, and basically you have to understand that there are 4 pillars of spoken English. If you follow these 4 things, then of course you are going to improve your English. Otherwise your English will be only average. So let's get started, and I must tell you, whatever I'm telling you have to follow it in a routine wise, and if you don't do it, then of course the way you are living, the way you can carry it on. So number 1 thing is that, first of all, if you are really serious about learning English, then you must go for reading. I must tell you that when you go for reading every day for half an hour at least, then of course when you read anything loudly, then there are 2 or 3 benefits directly. Number 1 is that when you speak loudly, then your tongue gets exercise. And when your tongue gets exercised in English terms, then whenever you need to speak English, then your tongue supports you. Many people say that, so I speak my native language, then every time my tongue gets exercised. No, I don't think that. Actually what happens when you speak your native language like Hindi, Bengali and Oriya, then what happens, your tongue is used to speaking those languages only. But when it comes to speaking English, then your tongue is not habituated to speaking English. That's why you get failed. You are unable to speak fast English, and whenever you start speaking English, then you start hesitating because your tongue doesn't help you. So you have to speak louder so that your tongue should be used to speaking English, and as you need it, then it will help you. But you think that in any moment of time, whenever it needs, that your tongue will help you. Then I don't think so. It doesn't happen. So if you speak loudly, then of course your tongue gets exercised in terms of English, and whenever you need it, then it will help you, because there are a lot of words in English which you cannot utter in a perfect way. So when you speak loudly, then your tongue is used to speaking in a perfect way, and whenever you need to speak, then of course it will help you. So number 1 thing is that you have to speak louder. Number 2 thing is that when you read something like in a storybook, then of course every day when you read, then you come across a lot of new words. Then you can make a collection of those words, you can recite those words, and thereafter you can use those words in speaking whenever you get time to speak. So when you make a collection of new words, it means you are getting vocabularies. And when you have a lot of vocabulary, then of course you can speak very easily, because when we speak English, then what happens? We use vocabs. When we use vocabs, then our language becomes very smooth and faster. And at the right time, when you get vocabs, then of course you no need to hesitate anymore. Some people ask me that, so I hesitate. Yeah, you can hesitate only because you don't have proper words and you don't have right words to use for the sentence, for the situation. That's why you feel hesitated. So when you speak louder, then you get your tongue gets exercised. Number 2, you have a collection of vocabs. And number 3 thing is that when you read, then you come to understand that what kind of sentence has been used for what situation. Because language is a situational thing. Remember this thing. Because whatever you speak, according to the situation you have to speak. Whatever I am speaking, according to the situation I am speaking. So when you read something, then you understand the right situation, and you come to know that at what situation what kind of sentence has been used and what kind of words have been used. So these are the things you can come to know when you give reading. So you have to follow these things, that at least every day give reading for half an hour. And if you make it in your routine, then of course it is going to help you for spoken English. But if you avoid it, then I think you are going to miss out all the things. It can be only a dream to be a good speaker. You cannot fulfill it. So reading is very necessary. Number 2, writing. Actually what happens, most of the people forget writing. They think that no need to write because I have written a lot of things in childhood. No, don't do that. Actually whatever you read, suppose you have read something for half an hour, then you must have understood something of that, like 70% of that, 80% of that. If you have good vocabs and good knowledge of grammar, then you could have understood even 100% of that. whatever you have understood, try to write in English. When you keep writing, then you come to know that what percentage of that you are able to write, so that you can check what kind of memory power you have. Because whatever I am speaking right now, it is only because of memory. Whatever I have to speak, it is in my mind, and whatever I am thinking, I am just speaking, I am delivering it. And this way you can also do that, because speaking comes from the mind, not from anywhere else. So when you write something, then from where would you like to write? You would write only from the reading that you have read. So this way, when you continue, then I must say that it will help you a lot, because when you write, then also your mind works very smoothly. When you speak English, then your mind has to work faster, but when you write, then your mind becomes a little slow. When you write something, then what happens? You care about the grammatical terms as well, you care about the subject, verb, object. If there is a subject, then what should be the verb according to the subject. So these kinds of things run into your mind, and thereafter you can come to know that these are the things which make your sentence correct. In the same way, when it comes to speaking, then when the time comes to speaking, then of course you can use only those things, and actually your mind is in the habit of making sentences in a good way. So when you start speaking English, then it will automatically frame your sentences, and as per situation you can deliver it, and people will understand what your sense is to speak. So writing is also very important. You cannot avoid it. Whatever you read, try to write, and try to understand that how much you are able to write. Number 3 thing is that listening. Listening is also as important as these two. Tell me one thing, when a child is born, do you think that he or she knows any kind of language? The answer is no. Because we all know that when a child is born, then of course he or she doesn't know any language. But what happens later? After 10 months, after 12 months, and after a year, whatever you can say, he or she starts speaking the same language that he or she keeps listening continuously by the parents and by the other member of the family. Only then that child starts speaking. If the child keeps listening Hindi language, then he or she speaks only Hindi language. But the child keeps listening English language, then the child speaks in English. Why? Because listening gives power to speak. You have to understand that if you are really desirous of learning how to speak English, then you should be in the habit of listening. You cannot avoid it. You will have to listen. Now you can say, sir, there is nobody in my house who can tell me and I can listen. No. Now every hand has a mobile phone and there is net. Then of course you can search on YouTube a lot of lectures of great personalities and you can listen to them carefully. Just try to be in touch with all the great personalities who speak in English. Then see, you would feel a different kind of atmosphere. You would think that you are not in India, you are in London, because whatever you're listening in English only. So these kind of things you can get on YouTube, because now the world is changing very rapidly and you are getting all the resources at home itself and no need to worry anymore. And when you keep listening, remember it gives you power to speak. Like I have given an example that when a child gets born, then he or she doesn't know any language. But he keeps listening for long. Then he or she gets power in heart to speak the same thing. If the mother says that, baby, please say to me, please call me mother, call me mother, call me mother, then the baby calls mother only. Nothing else. Baby calls mother because he or she kept listening only mother. That's why he or she says mother only. So you can understand the power of listening. You cannot avoid it. When you keep listening, then you are in the atmosphere of English and you would come to understand that yes, what kind of sentences are being used in different situations. So these are the things which if you do, then of course your English will improve in a very rapid way, and I'm sure that your English will improve and you can feel that you are on supreme, you are on paramount now. So Listening is also very important. Number 4 thing is that now speaking. Whatever you know, try to speak. Don't avoid it. Many people say that, sir, there is nobody in my house to whom I can speak. No, don't think so. Yeah, it might be possible that you don't have anybody at home to whom you can speak. But yes, there is you. It's you who can talk to. Means you can make a monologue. What is monologue? Monologue means you have to talk to yourself, but in a louder way. Don't speak silently. Speak in a louder way. Whatever you do, whatever is around you, of course you can talk about that to yourself. Suppose what you did yesterday, then you can just talk to yourself. You can say that, yeah, I got up at that time, and thereafter I did this, I did that, I went there, I came back, then I did this again. So this way you can talk to yourself. This is called a monologue. But whenever you think that, yeah, there is a friend who knows English better, then of course you have to try to speak to him. When you speak to him or her, then of course you get fluency, because it doesn't matter. And there is one more problem for Indians, that they think that what others will think if I make a mistake while speaking. No, never think that. Now tell me one thing, how can you learn without committing mistakes? If you don't fail, then you can't succeed. So for success you have to fail. In the same way, if you want to improve your English, then you have to commit mistakes. When you commit mistakes, only then it can be correct. But if you don't commit mistakes, then how is it possible to learn how to speak English in a better way? When you commit a mistake, only then the front person can tell you that, here, whatever you have spoken, there is a mistake in it. So this way you can improve your English. So never hesitate speaking to anybody. As you get any chance to speak, please speak, please speak, please speak, because this is your mission. Speaking comes by speaking. Tell me one thing. You want to speak English. You want to learn to speak English in a faster way, but you avoid speaking on the other side. What is this? It is like you are staying in India and you are dreaming of becoming the President of America. No, if you want to be President of America, then of course you have to go to America and reside there, and you have to take the citizenship of America. Only then you can be the President of America one day. In the same way, when you want to be a good speaker in English, then of course you have to speak at any cost. Never avoid it. Yeah, I know in the beginning there might be a lot of mistakes, but when you speak only, then it can be corrected. It can have correction. So never feel shy in speaking English. Always think that as you get any chance to speak, you have to speak. So when you keep doing all these things, then of course I think your English will be much better, and the confidence you will get will be very high, and whenever you get any chance to speak, then I don't think you would have any kind of problem. See, some people say that, sir, I know something, but when I face some people, then I feel hesitation. See, there are 2 points. Hesitation comes through only 2 ways. If you have lack of knowledge, means Gyan ki kami. If you have lack of knowledge, then you can hesitate, because you are not sure of what you have to speak, because you have lack of knowledge. But if you have knowledge, but you don't have practice, you have knowledge. You might have seen a lot of people, they have good grammatical knowledge, but they are unable to speak English. Why? Because they are not in the practice of speaking English. That's why they fail to speak English in a better way. They can manage to speak, but that is very slow, and they can feel hesitated as well. So practice is highly needed for this. Either you have lack of knowledge, then you can hesitate, or you have lack of practice, then only you can hesitate. But if you have both the things like knowledge and practice, then I must say it gives confidence. And when you have confidence, then you can speak anywhere to anybody in any moment, and that's what I want. So I hope guys this video would help you a lot if you follow these things, and if you keep doing all these things for only 1 month, then of course your English will be much better. And if you think if you have followed all these things for 1 month, still you didn't get any kind of improvement, then you can just share your comments in comment box, and I can tell you some other way that will certainly help you to improve your English. That's all. Bye bye. Thank you.